This conference will now be recorded.
Can you hear me? Am I audible? Okay, something is wrong.
Good afternoon, Vijay.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, 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 yes.
Thanks. Thank God finally. Likith. Is Likith in the call? Likith or Samir? Do we have Likith in the call? Okay. I don't know why you guys don't respond. It's fine. We talked about user lifecycle management. We talked about import sets, how to upload bulk users to the ServiceNow instance. Okay, now let's talk about a custom application creation. Okay, this is important. Okay, so I don't see as Likith, your friend is joining, Samir is joining. today. I don't know why. Okay. So the custom application creation. So before I go ahead and talk about the custom application creation, let me tell you about the environment, how it looks like when you got a job in organization. Okay. The point number one, when you got a job in organization, every organization what ServiceNow wants, they will have three instances. Okay. One is a developer instance. Other one is a UAT, which is we call it as user acceptance testing. Other one is live or production. Okay, production. So one note that you need to remember here is your UAT will be a clone copy of a production. Okay, it looks as same as the production, your UAT testing instance. So what do you do? Whatever the activities that you perform, that you do in the developer instance. Okay. First, you develop anything in the developer instance. Once your developing is done, then you will move your work to UAT instance, test instance. Hmm? Once it is tested successfully, then things will go into the production. And this is a cycle. Yeah, this is a cycle. Now, how many instances? We will have three instances, which is developer, UAT, production. There will be some organization, they will maintain developer and UAT both same. Okay, both same. They do maintain both in same instance. Don't get surprised. Right? Now, when you join an organization, let's say there is Mr. David, he joined in an organization on a ServiceNow role. Okay. When he joined in ServiceNow role, right, what happens? He will be given with the laptop and he will start working. How is the work is getting assigned to this individual? What is the process of he getting done by work? Okay, so listen to me carefully. There are two types of jobs that we often see in the market. Okay, one is implementation, other one is support. Okay, what is implementation? We'll talk about this. What is implementation is? Let's say there is a company called PwC. Okay, there is a company called PwC. This PwC, what they do? They bought, okay, let's say they bought ServiceNow. What is it they do? They will contact ServiceNow first, right? So they kind of do an evaluation there, okay, then after that they realized, okay, ServiceNow is the best fit for our requirement. Then what they do, they will contact ServiceNow. Okay, they will contact ServiceNow saying, hey ServiceNow, I looked into your product is quite impressive. Okay, so let me do one thing. I wanted to can you sell your product to me? I wanted to leverage, I wanted to purchase ServiceNow. Then what ServiceNow do? ServiceNow will go ahead and product a demo to them. Okay, this is what we do. Okay, this is the evaluation criteria, blah blah blah. Then what ServiceNow will do? ServiceNow will provide a demo to PwC. PwC pretty much like this solution and they do a POC. Okay, what they do? PwC will do a POC. Right? What is a POC? POC nothing but proof of concept. Right? What is this proof of concept is? ServiceNow claims that he can achieve all the use cases of PwC. but PwC can't just go on the wording, right? So they will say, okay, let me install the solution, let me configure the solution and test it by our own. Okay, test it by our own. They will test it. Once they test it, the test is successful, then the PwC will purchase, ServiceNow. When they purchase, they will tell you how many licenses you require, right? PwC says, hey, I require 500 technician licenses, and I need 200 approval licenses, right? And out of the box, you will get somewhere around 37 or 25 tables. Let's say the number may be varying. Yeah, 25 tables and some 200 fields. Custom. That means what? So PW ServiceNow will give him a quote saying, hey, 500 technicians and 200 approval licenses, along with 25 custom tables with 200 fields, right? You can go ahead and this is a purchase, this is a pricing. What is the pricing? Somewhere the pricing will say is $135K. Okay, $135K. So this is a discussion happen between the PwC and ServiceNow. You will be the part of it. If you are part of implementation, you will be part of the discussion. Some organization, right? So some organization, your manager or somebody will be there. That's a different story. So now they liked it and somehow they negotiated it, and finally the quote is approved till what is that? Somewhere around 500, 100K. Very good. Solution is purchased. Once a solution is purchased, then ServiceNow gave him the software. So who is going to implement this ServiceNow in PwC? What do you mean by implementation? Implementation is something installation, or whatever. So out of the box ServiceNow has it's a plain thing. It have a lot of out of the box features, though it's a plain thing, correct? It's a very plain thing. But based on your use cases, your organization will have, PwC will have 1,000 use cases. What is the 1,000 use cases? I want incident to be going this way, problem to be going this way, notification to be going this way. I want a custom application. I want this to be done, some catalogs I need to build, write some validation here, blah, blah, blah. They will have thousands of use cases. Who is going to customize this? Who is going to customize the service now for the use cases along, aligned with the use cases what PwC have? ServiceNow can do the implementation, but ServiceNow says, no, PwC, don't go with the, so we can do the implementation, but it is expensive. Okay, then what will I suggest you? I have a partner one. Okay, partner one. I have a partner two. Okay, and I have a partner three. Okay, partner three. Right? So I have 3 certified partners. These are the certified partners, professional services partners. What they do, they will implement the solution in your organization. So they will be cheaper than ServiceNow. If you go with ServiceNow, ServiceNow will charge a lot of money. Then again, PwC will try to talk to the each and every partner. What ServiceNow suggested? This one and this one. Says they will identify the right partner, saying again they do a proof of concept, how much capability you have with all these three, and then they decided to go with the partner number two, let's say. So this partner number 2 is where you actually work. Let's assume there is a Mr. David, right? David will work here. Okay, David will work here, and this guy will be part of the partner two company. What is this? What the guy will do? So this guy will reach out to PwC. Hey PwC, give me the use cases what you have. I'm happy to customize your solution. PwC give us like 1,000 use cases. Hey, these are the 1,000 use cases that you wanted to go ahead and do it. Just customize it and let me know. So your manager will tell you, okay, 3 months or 4 months or 5 months time frame. Okay, 1,000 use cases. I'm giving you 4 months time. In the 4 months time, I'm going to customize your solution. Don't worry about it. Okay, that's fantastic. So now what happens is David will come to you. Yes, David will come to you. You have one person here in your organization, one person here, one person here, one person here, one person here. How many use cases we have? You have other 1,000 use cases on your other hand, right? 1,000 use cases by PwC on the other hand, right? So what your manager will do, they will follow some methodologies. What methodology they will follow? They will follow, they will kind of agile methodology. Okay, agile methodology. And there is a waterfall methodology. Waterfall methodology, right? And they will follow some DevOps, something like this, right? So let's talk about agile and waterfall. So what is the difference between agile methodology and waterfall methodologies? A waterfall methodology is plan, okay, the design, it will have plan, design, okay, implement, okay, test, live. Okay, so that is the phases. I can show it to you here. Waterfall formula, right? What do you have? You will gather your requirements, you will design your thing, and you will implement your verification and your maintenance. Okay? This is a waterfall methodology. And coming into agile methodology also works like the same thing. Agile methodology also work like the same thing. Same thing, requirement collection, analysis, designing, coding, testing, and maintenance. Same thing. But what is the difference between agile methodology and waterfall methodology? If you look into waterfall methodology, until you complete this phase, you will not move to design. Until you complete your design, you can't move to implement. Until you implement, you can't move to test, right? But where agile methodology is, if your plan is 100%, right, you don't need to complete your 100% of plan. Okay, so what is that? Okay, you can go bits and pieces. Now your 10% is working done, that's fine. Let's go to design. 10% work will go into design, and 10% work will be implemented, 10% work will be tested, and 10% work will be live, and 10% will be maintenance, right? So that is a beautiful thing with the agile methodology, right? Where the waterfall is, you have to complete 100%, and then only you can move to design, then only you can move to implement, then only you can move to test and live and maintenance. Okay, so that is the challenges with the agile methodology and waterfall, differences between agile methodology and waterfall. So most of the organization using this these days, most of the organization using the agile methodology, because something will daily move forward. You don't wait for the 100% to be completed, right? Now when you go into an organization, they will follow agile methodology, what I said, right? So how is your work get assigned? You will have 1,000 use cases, right? These 1,000 use cases will be divided into sprints. Each sprint will have a story. Each sprint will have a story, and story. What is the sprint and what is the story? For example, incident table customization. Incident table customization is your story. Is a sprint, sorry, is a sprint. In this sprint, you will have multiple stories. What you have? Make the field mandatory. Make the number field mandatory. Number field mandatory. Okay. Make the number field, okay, read only. Okay. And what? Increase the width of short description. Width of short description field. Short description field. Okay? Like this, you will have all the multiple stories you have. Once you completed all the 3 stories, or whatever the number of stories in there, then you will mark your sprint completed. your sprint will be completed there. So this sprint will move to the, once you complete your sprint, this will move to the from a developer instance, it will go to UAT, somebody will test it and somebody will move to production. Okay, so this is how the implementation will work here, right? What happens? So you will have first, what you will have a this is a cycle of some organization purchasing solution, and this is the implementation partners come into the picture. So and then you will they will give you hundreds of use cases. These hundreds of use cases will be divided into different sprints. Each sprint have a story, and once you completed your story, then your sprint will be marked completed, and then that will go into the developer. From developer to it will go to UAT, from UAT it will go to production. This is the implementation. People all call it as, can you teach me implementation? Can you teach me implementation? This is how the implementation works. Any questions here? Okay. So this is one thing. If you got to happen to
Hey.
join.
Hello.
Yeah.
Vijay Santosh here. Vijay, when you're talking to sprints and story, are you referring to requirement gatherings and freezing the requirements?
No, that will be completed. The requirement gathering will be completed by at the top level.
Okay.
At the agile methodology top level, your client will keep requirement gathering will happen there. Requirement gathering will happen and they will complete the requirement. So they will, once your requirement is completed, then that will be converted into sprint. But sometimes you will still have questions. For example, there is a use case that will be given to you. You feel the requirement is not satisfactory. Then you will approach the client again. I'm not clear on it. Tell me the requirement again. They will give you that. Right? The requirement gathering is all the phases, but most of the requirement gathering is happening when your whole project is divided into sprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Right. So this is what the implementation altogether. Okay. This is how your implementation looks like. Okay. Now, this is one job. Other job is what? Support. Okay. PwC had a contract with partner 2, and partner 2 satisfied all the 1,000 use cases, and they kind of extended their support for 3 months after the implementation. Okay, after the implementation they will extend their support for 3 months. After 3 months you still have issues, you still need enhancements, you still have bugs you wanted to satisfy. Then what do you need to do? You can't reach out to partner 2 because that will be so expensive. People charge like hour per hour, they charge like $120 or something. So PwC can't depend on them. Then what PwC will do? They will recruit 4 guys or 3 guys, some members, as a ServiceNow developer or ServiceNow administrator. And there will be one person who will be managing. Right? These persons, what they do, there's already PwC solution implemented by partner 2. Right? All the 1,000 use cases satisfied, and they need it. But to maintain the solution, they need a team. PwC need a team, right? That's where the recruitment started. So this team do nothing. They will just sit happily and look into the have an eye on this particular solution. And whenever there is a new enhancement comes in, for example, let's say there is a 15 teams use this solution. 15 teams use this solution. Okay. So it's not something that nobody will raise anything. Right? They'll keep asking you, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah. Right? So how is that things works? Right? So whenever things works, there is that enhancement request created, that will go to your team, this recruitment, whoever recruited, and they'll form a team called ServiceNow team. Right? So we will have, like, we recruited, let's say we recruited 5 people here. These 5 people is responsible for all the enhancement these 15 teams faces. Here people use what? SDLC. What is this SDLC? Software Development life cycle. SDLC enhancement is something again, right? SDLC model. What do you have in the SDLC model? Again, you will have requirement gathering, design, implementation, testing, and evaluation. Right? It's as simple as it is. But this will be for the specifically designed for the support. SDLC, software development lifecycle, is specifically defined for the support. What happen? People will go for the enhancement. Let's say I own a service desk team. I am a service desk team lead. Okay. Then what I'll do, I need an enhancement. I need some notification. Then I will rate an enhancement request. I will go to SDLC and I will create a new SDLC request. This will go to approver. Once it is approved, right? Once it is approved, this ServiceNow developer team to reach me for the requirement gathering. Once it is requirement gathering, they will start develop it and they will move to test verify, then they will move to live, then it will be on the maintenance again. Okay. So they don't implement the solution. Solution is already implemented. Whichever the solution that is already implemented, for that solution, you need to have a support. That support will be the support project. Okay. This is a support problem. Right? This is a support project. So how many types of jobs we have? One is implementation, another one is the support. Are we clear about what happens when you go into organization? No matter how much technical you are and how much you earned it, if you don't know the things works in real time, there is no use. Any questions? Wonderful. Okay. Then now let's talk about a sprint. What is my sprint here? Create new application. Create new application. And this application will be called as Narayana institutions. Okay. Under that, this is story one. What is story one? Is create an application, right? Which is called Narayana institutions. Then story one. What is story two? Modules. What modules we require? Student information. Then you need to have employee information. This is two modules, right? And your story three will be in the student information. I need below fields. What fields you need? Student name, father name, student ID, student city, student country, okay, and comments in a separate section, right? And marks in a separate section, right? Again, in that, what do you have? English, math, social, science, total. This is your use case, whole story. How we are going to make it, right? So what is your sprint? Your sprint is thing, custom application creation. Custom application. Okay, it looks like this. In the sprint, you will have multiple stories. Now, then what you will have? Okay, you got all the requirements. Then you still have a question there. What is my question is? Okay, in ServiceNow, each and every application will have their own table created, right? For example, all the users will stay in which table? Sys underscore user table. All the incidents will be stored in which incident table. Problem table, change table, and there's a big table called task. When you say you wanted to create a custom application, are you going to save any information? Yes. If you are saving the information, what table you want me to save this information? Do you have a custom? Do you already have a table? No. If you don't have a table, then what you need to do? You need to create a table, right? For all these applications, you need to create a table first. Okay. Once your table is created, then you go ahead and define these things. Okay. So what is the first thing that we need to do if we wanted to build a custom application? We need to create a table, right? So go to your left navigation, sorry, go to your ServiceNow instance, hit on tables. Okay. One second. Okay. Hit on tables and come down. Under system definition, you'll have a table. Okay. What is how many tables you have? 3,836 tables you have. Okay. Now, okay, let me ask you a question. What is the table's name? What is the table name for tables? Who's going to tell me? What is the table name of tables? In which table all the tables will be stored? Answer is in front of yours. Santosh, Amit.
Yeah. No, no questions. No questions.
No, I have a question. I asked you some question, right? What table all the tables will be stored in ServiceNow? In which table all the tables will be stored in ServiceNow?
Sys underscore tables.
Very good. So I'm in this place. How do I know which table I'm in?
In the URL
In the
or
URL?
sorry, in the edit on the left navigation filter, when you go to the tables, you can, if you hit edit button, you will see the table name.
Okay. So what tables? So what table? I mean, these are tables, right? So if I click on
Yeah.
tables, it will tell me.
You will get the edit mode. In the edit mode, I believe it should be there.
Where is the table name?
Titles is table, system definition. And we scroll down, create and manage tables name displays tables only.
I'm in this
Display
place.
name.
I'm in table now. So
Mhm.
which table? Which table? All the tables will be stored. I can see the answer.
This underscore db underscore object underscore list.
Exactly. Sys underscore TV underscore object is where my all the tables will be stored. Right?
Okay.
This is the table name. Thank God somebody responded. Thank you. Now hit on new. I'm going to create a brand new application. For this particular sprint, what am I going to do? They asked me to create a new application. Then I'm going to create a new application. Then what did I do? I went to tables and hit on new. Then it's a new application that I'll be creating. Right? So what is the table name? Is to store the student information. I need a table name. Student information. Okay. As
Mhm.
soon as I hit here out of the field, you see that name will get populated. See this? U underscore student underscore information. What is this? What is the difference between the label and name, right? Difference between the label and name is, always remember, label is for the user interface level search. Label is for the user interface, for the browser. If you wanted to search a table name in the browser, within the browser, you will use label. If you wanted to call this particular table from a script, you will use name. Okay, so let me write it down. Difference between name, label, and name. Label is for user interface level search. Okay, user interface level search. And name is for the backend DB level search. Okay, DB level search, right? Interviewer will ask you, if you are writing a script, do you call a label or you call a name? I will call a name if I am writing a script. Okay, if I am writing a script, okay, I will call a name, not label. I never call label, I never use label in the script. Please remember it. I never use label in a script. I never use label in a script, right? That is a label and that is a name. Okay. Do you want a module to be created for this? Yes. That is what the query, the requirement tells you, right? What's the requirement? What is the requirement telling me? Module is student information. So student information is a table, and I also want this to be converted as a module, right? Okay. So if you are creating a module, you can't just create a module, right? If you're creating a table, you must need to add it to a new application. You must need to add it to an existing application or a brand new application. This student information to be added to module to be added to which table, which application menu? Incident, problem, right? So what is the application menu that we are talking about? Narayana institutions. I'm going to create a new application here. See this? New application, Narayana institutions. Okay. So under the a new application menu called Narayana institution will be there. Under that, there will be a module called student information. Okay, very good. And other thing is, what is this extents table? What is this extents table? Extents table is something. Let's assume I already have an existing application called Saint Mary's. Okay, Saint Mary institutions. Okay, that institution also, even that application also having the same structure, right? So student information, I mean the first student name, father name, student ID, student, all these things, everything is similar in that Saint Mary also, and everything is similar in Saint Mary's, correct? So in that case, instead of me creating a new application from the scratch, what I will do, I will go ahead and enter the table name here, Saint Mary's. For example, just think like this, some straight transition model. So what happens? Whatever the structure of this particular table, will be cloned into the student information. What does that mean? I'll show you. Right? So let me tell you this. Control new. Yeah. So this storage has, let's say, this particular extents table storage transition model have 5 fields. What is that? It has a 5 fields. What is the 5 fields? Some student information, student name, ABC, and something like this, and something like this, something like this, right? So it has a 5 fields, 6 fields in the table. and I have a requirement of creating a new table with the same requirements. Okay, so instead of me creating the fields again, from the scratch, what I will do, I will extend my newly created table with this particular table. So whatever the structure of this table will be applied here, the fields will be created here, right? That is called extensible. And if you observe one thing, if you click on this magnifier symbol, we only see 266 tables here. But in reality, how many tables we have? 3,836. Why we are only seeing these 266 tables? Why we are only seeing these 266 tables? That's because not all the table will be visible here. Why? Because this table, this place, we see only the tables which are marked as extensible. If you want your table to be displayed in this list, you must need to enable this. Otherwise, this table, if you save a table like this particular student information table will not be visible here in this list. Okay, so if you see this, that's why we are saying 266. These are the 266 tables are marked as extensible true. Marked as extensible true. Right? These are the 266 tables marked as extensible true. So tables which are not marked as extensible true will not be visible in this list. Okay, will not be visible in this list. Let me write it down for you. Right? Tables which are not marked as extensible will not be visible in the extends table list. Extends table list. Okay, in the extends table list. That's very important. Okay, now columns I will talk to you in a moment, or let me tell you. As of now, you are seeing there is no field that have been created here. Okay, there are no fields that have been created here, but interviewer will ask you how many fields how many fields will be created when you create a new table. When you create a new table, there will be 7 fields that gets created. What are they? Created. Okay, 7 fields. Create. Okay, created by, updated by, updated on. Okay, sysID. Okay, sysID. How many fields? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I think it will be created on. Okay, 7 fields that gets automatically created. What is sysID? SysID is a 32 characters alphanumeric word which will be unique for each record in ServiceNow. You take any record, it will have a SysID. For example, if you go to incident, okay, just if you go to incident here, okay, so if you go to incident here, this is the incident, right? This will have a SysID. Where do you see the SysID of this record? This is the SysID. Okay, this is the SysID of this record. this 55248888, this is the sysid of this record. Or you can also copy like this. Right click on the record and go to here, copy sysid. Right, sysid, something like this. This ID will be unique for each record exist in ServiceNow. This ID will be unique for each record exist in ServiceNow. Right? Now this is the columns. There will be 7 columns that get automatically created. Okay, point number 1. Now go to controls. Extensible, we know, live feed, leave about it. Okay, so we will not talk about touch base with this, or this is a part of a knowledge base stuff. Okay, we will talk about. Okay, and auto number. What is this auto number? See, auto number is a number which will be created for each record. Created each record in table. This number will be unique. This number will be unique. So this basically the number format will be, in what format it will be there, right? It will be first 3 letters of the table name. If it is incident, then the first the number will start from INC. If it is problem, PRO. If it is change, CHA or CHN, whatever it is, right? And if it is student information, the first record will be STU, right? It will start from STU. Now, say this, if I click on outer number, the prefix will be what? The first 3 letters. And how many numbers it will have? The very first number starts from 1000, right? And how many number of digits, how many number it has? It should have 7 out of the box. So 7 means currently how many numbers we have? 1 2 3 4, right? So the very first number start from 1000, but the number contain 7 digits. So I'm going to add 3 more zeros here, right? So then what does it mean by, if you see this, there will be the first record will be 1001, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So that means what? In a table, I can create ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. I can create 10 lakh records in a table if I go with out of the box thing. But if you want, you can customize. No, I don't like STU. I wanted to keep it as ABC. Go ahead. I want the number to be like started from 10,000. Go ahead. I want the number of digits to be some 5, some 10, some 100. It's up to you, right? There will not be any decision. It can be completely customizable. It can be completely customizable. Now, moving on to the next thing, create access controls. What are this create access controls? Create access control is, if you talk about, okay, if you look into the previous classes, incident is restricted from where? Restricted by a role, right? Idea. So out of the box, when you are creating a table, when you created a table, there will be one role that gets automatically created. That role is this: use student information user. So out of the box, this table will be restricted. Out of the box, the table will be restricted here. That is a create access control. If you don't want this to be enabled, just remove this. Right? If you enable this, you will get a new role up there. Right? So that's about controls. Moving into application access. Let's say I want this application can be accessible by other applications within the ServiceNow. Right? They can only read it, they can create it, they can update it, they can delete it. Fine. No. This is a very critical application. I want nobody to access this application from any of the application. Then it is this application scope only. Right? If you don't understand, forget about it. It will not help you much. Just leave it alone. You will understand more when we're going further. That's about the columns and this thing. Any questions here? Okay, I just saved it and I have 0 columns when I created it. Now let's look into the columns. See, let's look into the columns here. How many class? Oops. I extended this table. Come on.
Which DB is used in the backend for ServiceNow?
MySQL. This is already discussed.
Sorry?
MySQL. I told you about the architecture, right? You were there in the architecture?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
MySQL, Oracle. Okay.
MySQL. Now, if you see this student information, right? If you see this, go to columns, and there are 7 fields that have been created by creates, is ID, updated by updates, number, right? 7 fields that gets created. Okay, that's about the tables. So tomorrow we're going to modify and customize these things. Yeah, any questions?
Okay, yeah, one question. Apart from using the extends table option, we can create. Can we, without using the schema of? I mean, mainly we use extend table because we use a schema of another table, right? So can we? I mean, can we create a new table from scratch? Is it possible? Vijay?
That's what we did, right? See this? What about
I
Narayana
mean,
institution?
we made use of a extend table, right? So that is
No. Santosh, listen. See this.
okay.
We made it by mistake, but I'm doing it from the scratch again. I already created another table from the scratch, which is not extending anything. See this? The one which we extended is this.
State transition.
This is a brand new. It's coming from the scratch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got it.
It's a brand new. So we can
Okay, that's
always do it.
you told about system and default columns.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Hi, hi, sir. This is Liket.
Like it, be louder, huh? I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No,
No? Hello?
no, you need to be louder. Can anyone hear Likit? Likit's voice?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, like little bit. Yeah, go ahead, but still manageable. I try to understand. Yeah. Shoot your question.
Okay. So this question is related to previous session. So regarding a point related to Colis. So I have a doubt, on that day when we are discussing a case related to user ID and email. So, for example, if there is a user with the same name, like John, and the second user is also John, okay, but there are two different emails, a@a.a.com and b@b.com. So when we enable Colis, will that be overridden whenever we already have a John user, which was predefined, or else which was
Let me ask
created
you a
earlier?
question there. Okay, let me ask you a
Yeah.
question there. But colleagues will be defined at a table level or field level.
Field level.
Field level. Then John is the separate field and email is a
Separate field.
separate field. So then it will be overridden at the field level. So your field will be there, right? So your field will be there, but your so it's like you need to enable the colleagues for each and every field. If you wanted to make sure that is in that data records not be overridden. If you have 4 records, all the 4 records need to be enabled queries. So it will verify all the 4 records. Then none of the record matches. Then it will create a new record.
Okay. Okay.
It's a field level. Colleagues is always a field level. Good question.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks. Thanks, sir. Got it.
All right. Okay. Very good. So we'll meet you tomorrow then. Thank you.
Vijay, just copy paste the text, no?
Yeah. Yep. Bye bye.
Thanks. Perfect.
Uh, Santosh, hello.
Yes.
Yeah, did you ask for the what do you call
Which one?
this notes to paste?
Yeah, I only asked for